The first signs came from the deep space monitoring stations in Antarctica. A disturbance in the fabric of space-time, unlike anything ever recorded. Dr. Samira Patel stood before the massive wall of screens in the International Space Research Institute's main control room, her dark eyes fixed on the incoming data streams. 20 years of studying potential extraterrestrial life hadn't prepared her for this moment. "It's accelerating," announced Technical Director Marcus Walsh, his fingers flying across multiple holographic displays. "Whatever it is, it's heading straight for Earth's orbit." The phenomenon materialized 3 days later. A crystalline structure larger than Manhattan, its surface refracting sunlight in impossible patterns. Global panic ensued immediately. Stock markets crashed, religions declared both doom and salvation, and military forces worldwide went to high alert. Dr. Patel worked tirelessly with her team, analyzing every bit of data they could gather about the visitor. The entity's structure defied known physics, its crystalline form somehow maintaining perfect integrity despite its size and the various forces acting upon it. More intriguing were the energy patterns emanating from within, complex, rhythmic, almost like, "It's trying to communicate," she announced during an emergency United Nations session. These energy patterns show clear signs of intelligence and intent. Commander Thomas Harrison of the Global Defense Force wasn't convinced. "With all due respect, Doctor, we can't risk the safety of humanity on a hypothesis. We need to prepare for hostile action." But Samira wouldn't back down. "Look at the data. The entity has made no aggressive moves. It's maintaining a stable orbit and actively avoiding our satellites. These are not the actions of an invader." The debate raged on until the entity made its first direct contact. It happened during a routine scanning session. The crystalline structure suddenly emitted a burst of energy that interfaced with Earth's communications networks. Screens worldwide displayed the same message, not in words, but in mathematical equations and universal constants. Dr. Patel's team worked frantically to decode the message. What they found chilled them to the bone. The entity wasn't an invader, it was a refugee. Through complex mathematical models and quantum signatures, it showed them images of its home galaxy being consumed by something darker than the void of space itself. Ancient beings that moved between the stars, devouring civilizations whole. "It's warning us," Samira explained to the UN Security Council. "These void hunters, as we're calling them, they've destroyed countless worlds. Our visitor is one of the last survivors of an advanced civilization that fought them." The entity, which they named Prisma due to its crystalline nature, continued sharing information. It had fled across galaxies, searching for a civilization with the potential to help fight back. It had chosen Earth not just as a refuge, but as humanity's protector. Commander Harrison remained skeptical. "And we're supposed to just trust this thing? For all we know, this could be an elaborate trap." His concerns seemed justified when Prisma suddenly began to change form. Its crystalline surface shifted and flowed like liquid metal, extending massive appendages toward Earth. Military forces worldwide prepared to launch a coordinated attack, missiles armed with nuclear warheads standing ready. But Dr. Patel made a desperate plea. "Wait. Look at the energy readings. It's not attacking. It's creating something." The crystalline appendages stopped just within the upper atmosphere, and then something extraordinary happened. They began constructing a network of smaller crystalline structures, forming a web of interconnected points around the planet. "It's building us a defense system," Samira realized, her voice filled with awe. "It's trying to protect us from what's coming." As if to confirm her theory, Prisma transmitted another message. This time, the mathematical equations revealed something terrifying. The Void Hunters had followed it. They would reach Earth within months, and humanity's current technology would be useless against them. The choice became clear: trust the mysterious entity that had chosen to protect them, or face cosmic horrors alone. As governments worldwide debated their next move, Dr. Patel worked tirelessly to improve communication with Prisma. She knew that understanding their unexpected guardian was humanity's best hope for survival. As the first month drew to a close, Prisma began sharing more than warnings. It offered knowledge, glimpses of technologies beyond human comprehension, but not beyond human potential. The creature they had initially dreaded was becoming their greatest teacher, preparing them for a war they never knew they would have to fight. In her private moments, Samira often stood at her office window, watching the crystalline guardian shimmer in the night sky. Why us? She would wonder. Out of all the civilizations in the universe, why did you choose to protect humanity? The answer would come sooner than she expected, and it would change everything they thought they knew about their place in the cosmos. The crystalline defense network grew more intricate with each passing day. Prisma's structures caught the sunlight in ways that made them appear almost alive, pulsing with an inner light that both mesmerized and unsettled those who watched from below. Dr. Samira Patel had barely slept in weeks, driven by the urgent need to understand their mysterious guardian. The quantum harmonics are unlike anything we've ever seen, she explained to her colleague, Dr. Rajkumar, as they analyzed the latest data streams. It's not just a defense system, it's a communication network, a sensor array, and something else we haven't figured out yet. The breakthrough came during a routine analysis session. Marcus Walsh, monitoring the energy patterns, noticed something extraordinary. The crystalline structures. They're not just receiving signals from Prisma, they're amplifying human brainwaves. This discovery changed everything. Prisma wasn't just trying to protect humanity, it was attempting to establish a deeper connection. Through careful experimentation, they found that certain individuals could achieve a form of telepathic communion with the entity. Dr. Patel was among the first to try. The experience transformed her understanding completely. Through this direct connection, she saw fragments of Prisma's memories, vast crystal cities spanning entire planets, a civilization that had evolved beyond physical form into beings of pure energy and thought. She witnessed the horror of the Void Hunters' arrival, ancient, darkness-wrapped entities that consumed not just matter and energy, but the very essence of civilizations. They don't just destroy worlds. She reported to the UN Security Council, her voice trembling. They devour consciousness itself. Every memory, every dream, every spark of potential, gone. The crystals were their civilization's last defense, a way to preserve their essence, even as their physical forms were consumed. Commander Harrison, who had been skeptical from the start, found his position shifting as he reviewed the evidence. So this entity, Prisma, it's not just a refugee. It's a survivor carrying the legacy of an entire civilization. More than that, Samira explained. It's a guardian created specifically to find and protect species with the potential to resist the Void Hunters. And it chose us. The question of why humanity had been chosen became clearer as Prisma shared more of its knowledge. Through the crystalline network, it showed them the unique characteristics that had drawn it to Earth. Human creativity, their ability to adapt and innovate, their capacity for both individual brilliance and collective action. These were rare traits in the cosmos. But time was running short. The quantum sensors Prisma had helped them build detected the first signs of the Void Hunters' approach. Dark distortions in space-time, moving inexorably toward Earth. Commander Harrison took charge of the global defense preparations. How long do we have? 2 months, maybe less, Dr. Kumar calculated. They're moving faster than we initially estimated. Prisma's response was to accelerate humanity's technological development. Through the crystalline network, it began sharing knowledge of quantum engineering that would have taken humans centuries to discover on their own. Research facilities worldwide worked around the clock to understand and implement these advances. Dr. Patel made another stunning discovery during one of her communion sessions with Prisma. The crystalline structures weren't just defensive, they were transformative. It's preparing us, she realized. The network isn't just protecting Earth, it's helping humanity evolve. The process was subtle but measurable. People living near the crystal structures reported increased cognitive abilities, stronger intuition, and even moments of spontaneous technological insight. The crystals were acting as catalysts, accelerating human potential in preparation for the coming conflict. Not everyone welcomed these changes. Protests erupted in major cities, with some groups demanding the removal of the crystalline structures. They feared losing their humanity, becoming something other than what they were. The debate raged across social media and news networks. Was the price of survival worth the risk of transformation? Commander Harrison faced these concerns head-on during a global broadcast. We're not losing our humanity, he argued. We're growing into what we always had the potential to become. The choice isn't between remaining human or becoming something else. It's between evolution and extinction. As the second month of Prisma's presence drew to a close, the first direct evidence of the Void Hunters' destructive power reached Earth. A distant star system, barely visible to their most powerful telescopes, simply winked out of existence. The threat was no longer theoretical, it was terrifyingly real. Dr. Patel spent more time in communion with Prisma, learning everything she could about their enemy. Through these sessions, she began to understand that the coming conflict would test more than humanity's technological capabilities. It would challenge their very understanding of existence itself. In her final report before the first wave of attacks, she wrote, "Prisma didn't choose us because we were the most advanced civilization, or the strongest, or even the most numerous. It chose us because we possess something the Void Hunters can never understand, the ability to face impossible odds and still dare to dream of victory." The crystalline guardian continued its work, preparing Earth for what was coming. As humanity stood on the brink of its greatest challenge, the creature they had once dreaded had become their greatest hope for survival. But the true test of their partnership was about to begin, and no one, not even Prisma, could predict how it would end. They came without warning. One moment, the quantum sensors were tracking the Void Hunters at the edge of the solar system. The next, space itself tore open above Earth's atmosphere. The first attack force emerged from the rift. Beings of such profound darkness that they seemed to absorb both light and hope. Dr. Samira Patel watched from the Institute's command center as Prisma's crystalline network flared to life. The defensive grid that had been growing for months suddenly blazed with inner light, forming patterns that defied human comprehension. Multiple rifts detected, Marcus Walsh announced, his voice steady despite the fear evident in his eyes. They're probing the defense network. Commander Harrison's voice crackled over the emergency channel. All military forces, stand ready. We don't know if the crystalline shield will hold. The Void Hunters struck with impossible speed. Dark tendrils of anti-energy lashed out at the crystal network, attempting to corrupt and consume it. But Prisma had prepared for this moment. The crystal structures resonated in perfect harmony, creating barriers of pure quantum energy that the darkness couldn't penetrate. Through her connection to the network, Samira felt Prisma's response. The guardian entity transformed, its massive crystalline form splitting into thousands of smaller fragments, each acting with independent intelligence while maintaining perfect coordination. It was a display of power that left even the skeptics speechless. "This is what they did to your world," Samira whispered, sharing Prisma's memories of the fall of its home civilization. "But this time, you're not alone." Humanity's contribution to the battle came in ways no one had expected. The enhanced intuition granted by the Crystal Network allowed military strategists to predict the Void Hunters' movements. Scientists working with the new quantum technologies developed countermeasures faster than should have been possible. Commander Harrison coordinated the global response from the newly established Quantum Defense Command. "They're testing us," he realized. "This isn't their full force, they're measuring our capabilities." The first battle lasted 23 hours. When it ended, Earth had survived, but the cost was severe. Several crystal nodes had been destroyed, and the gaps in the network left those areas vulnerable. More concerning were the areas where the Void Hunters' corruption had taken hold, zones of absolute darkness where nothing could survive. Dr. Kumar led the analysis of these dead zones. "The corruption is spreading," he reported. "If we can't find a way to contain it, we'll lose entire continents within weeks." The solution came from an unexpected source. During a communion session with Prisma, Samira discovered something remarkable about human consciousness. "We can heal the corruption," she announced. "The Crystal Network doesn't just protect us. It amplifies our ability to restore what the Void Hunters destroy." The process required volunteers to interface directly with the Crystal Network, using their own life force in conjunction with Prisma's power to purify the corrupted zones. It was dangerous work. Some volunteers emerged changed, their eyes holding a crystalline shimmer that marked them as something more than purely human. These changes sparked a new wave of fear and resistance. Religious leaders declared it an abomination, while others saw it as the next step in human evolution. The debate reached a crucial point when Commander Harrison himself volunteered for the purification process. "I've seen what's coming," he declared in a global broadcast. "If we reject this gift, this chance to become something greater, we won't survive what's ahead. We have to evolve or die." His transformation was broadcast worldwide. People watched in awe as the crystal energy flowed through him, his humanity not diminished but enhanced. When he emerged, his understanding of the quantum network had deepened immeasurably. "They're coming back," he announced, his crystalline flecked eyes focused on something only he could see. "And this time, they're bringing their full force." Prisma confirmed this warning through its connection with Samira. The Void Hunters had never encountered resistance like this, a guardian entity working in perfect harmony with a protected species. Their response would be brutal. The global transformation accelerated. More volunteers stepped forward to interface with the Crystal Network. Each successful integration strengthened Earth's defenses and expanded humanity's understanding of their own potential. Dr. Petal worked tirelessly to document these changes, knowing that humanity was witnessing its own evolutionary leap. "We're not losing our humanity," she wrote in her journal. "We're finally growing into it. Every species reaches a point where it must transcend its limitations or fade into extinction. This is our moment." As the month drew to a close, the quantum sensors detected massive disturbances throughout the solar system. The Void Hunters were gathering their forces, preparing for an assault that would test Earth's defenses to their absolute limit. Prisma shared one final insight through the network, a truth that both terrified and inspired. The coming battle would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of countless other worlds. humanity's stand against the darkness would echo across the cosmos. In the quiet hours before the storm, as the crystal network hummed with preparatory energy, Dr. Petal stood with Commander Harrison in the command center, watching Prisma's ever-shifting form against the star-filled sky. "Did you ever imagine," she asked, "that our greatest fear would become our greatest hope?" Harrison smiled, the crystal light in his eyes flickering. "Maybe that's why they chose us. Humans have always been good at turning their fears into strength." Above them, Prisma pulsed with agreement, and the crystal network blazed brighter, ready for whatever darkness the void might bring. The final assault began with a darkness that swallowed the stars. Thousands of void hunters emerged from tiers in space-time, their ancient hunger focused entirely on Earth. But this time, humanity was ready. Prisma's crystal network blazed to life, now integrated with millions of human minds. Commander Harrison coordinated the defense from Quantum Command, his enhanced consciousness linked directly to both the network and the military forces worldwide. Multiple breaches detected. Marcus Walsh reported, his hands dancing across quantum interfaces. They're targeting the network nodes systematically. Dr. Patel monitored the human crystal integration levels. The network is holding. The combined consciousness is stronger than they anticipated. The Void Hunters' strategy became clear. They weren't just trying to destroy Earth. They wanted to consume the unique energy created by the human crystal symbiosis. But this proved to be their first mistake. Through the network, Prisma shared a crucial revelation. The Void Hunters' hunger could be turned against them. The crystal structures weren't just defensive barriers. They were quantum traps, designed to capture and redirect the very energy the hunters used to consume civilizations. "Everyone focus." Commander Harrison's enhanced voice resonated through the network. "Channel your energy through the crystals. Let them take the bait." As the Void Hunters attacked the strongest nodes, humanity executed their trap. The crystal network absorbed the dark energy and, enhanced by human consciousness, transformed it. The resulting backlash shattered dozens of the ancient beings, their essence scattered across space-time. But victory came at a cost. Each energy conversion strained the human minds linked to the network. Some couldn't handle the pressure, their consciousness fracturing under the load. Dr. Kumar worked frantically to stabilize the affected individuals, while Dr. Patel sought a way to protect the volunteers. Through their deepening connection, Prisma offered a solution, a full merger of crystal and human consciousness, creating a hybrid form that could withstand the energy conversion process. The choice was impossible. Remain purely human and likely fail, or embrace an irreversible transformation and stand a chance of victory. Evolution and transcendence. The decision was made not by governments or leaders, but by humanity itself. Millions stepped forward, willing to risk transformation to save their world. The process began as the final battle reached its peak. Dr. Patel was among the first to undergo the complete merger. Her consciousness expanded beyond human limits, joining with Prisma's vast awareness. Through this connection, she finally understood the full scope of their Guardian's plan. They weren't just looking for a species to protect, she shared through the network. They were searching for partners who could help restore balance to the cosmos. The transformation spread rapidly. Those who merged gained abilities beyond imagination, the power to manipulate quantum energy, to perceive multiple dimensions, to understand the fundamental forces that shaped reality. Yet somehow they retained their essential humanity, their creativity and determination now enhanced rather than replaced. Commander Harrison led the transformed defenders in the final push. The crystal network, now fully integrated with human consciousness, became a weapon of unprecedented power. Each void hunter that approached Earth faced not just Prisma's ancient defenses, but the combined will of an evolved human race. The hunters, for the first time in their ancient existence, knew fear. They had consumed countless civilizations, but they had never encountered one that could adapt and evolve so rapidly. Their attack faltered, then broke entirely as more of their kind were destroyed by the crystal-human fusion. The final moments of the battle transformed Earth's sky into a spectacular display of light and energy. The remaining void hunters fled, their darkness shattered by the brilliance of humanity's evolution. In their wake, they left a changed world. Prisma's form shifted one last time, merging with the crystal network to become a permanent part of Earth's new ecosystem. Through this connection, humanity gained access to a vast network of similar guardian-protected worlds throughout the cosmos. They were no longer alone in the universe. They were part of something greater. Dr. Patel, her consciousness now spanning both human and crystal aspects, addressed the world. We stand at the dawn of a new age. The creature we once dreaded hasn't just protected us. It has helped us become what we were always meant to be. We are still human, but we are also more. And our journey is just beginning. The crystal structures became permanent fixtures of Earth's landscape, their light a constant reminder of how fear had transformed into hope. Humanity's evolution continued, guided by the wisdom of their guardian and their own unlimited potential. Commander Harrison, looking out at the crystal-studded horizon, summed it up perfectly. We thought we needed a protector, but what we really needed was a partner, someone to show us what we could become. In the vast darkness between the stars, word spread of Earth's transformation. Other civilizations, hiding from the void hunters, began to emerge. A new network of evolved species formed, with humanity and their crystal guardian playing a central role. The creature they had dreaded had indeed become humanity's greatest protector, but more than that, it had become the key to their transcendence. Together, they would ensure that the darkness of the void hunters would never again threaten the light of consciousness in the cosmos. And somewhere in the quantum networks that now spanned galaxies, Prisma's original consciousness resonated with satisfaction. The gamble had paid off. In humanity, they had found not just students or soldiers, but true partners in the eternal dance of cosmic evolution. The end was really just the beginning.